Well, it is hot out today. It's 35 degrees Celsius, but 95 Fahrenheit. Today I want to talk to you guys about what are some of the key things to do in order to grow good salad greens all summer long, especially in heat like this. That's coming up next on The Urban Farmer. First, let's talk about what are the greens that I grow during the summer. Well, the main one is my Salanova lettuce, which is on black plastic or landscape fabric, which we reuse, and that makes it hot. And you must think that in temperatures like this that it would bolt, and well, it will after a few cuts. But there's some things I can do to make sure that it doesn't bolt too quickly, and I'll get into that soon. But first, let's talk about the other greens I grow. So the main greens I'm growing in the summer, the base of my salad mix is going to be lettuce, whereas in the early spring or late fall it might be more composed of brassica type greens, arugulas, mustards, baby kales, tatsoi, crops like this, things that are cold tolerant. But in the summer it becomes predominantly lettuce. I put arugula, which I'm standing over here, in my salad mix in the summer. I also put red Russian kale into my salad mix in the summer as well. I put mustard greens down here. These are just cut into my salad mix in the summer. And perhaps my favorite auxiliary green, I call them, to put in my salad mix in the summer are beet greens. And I've got a video on that specifically. You could check that one out. Beet greens are great because during the summertime when it's hot, they germinate fast. They're 21 days to maturity. After the first cut, you'll get another cut in less than 7 days. So they're a great thing to add to the salad mix, whereas the lettuce doesn't recover quite as quickly as the beet greens do. Now you're probably gonna ask, how do you grow things like arugula and mustard greens in the summer? And there are two answers really. The first one is you have to plant often. You're right if you're assuming that they will go to seed quickly. They usually will. But the beautiful thing about the summertime is that things grow so quickly because you have the daylight and you have the heat units. Those two combinations make things grow really quickly. So things like arugula are ready in 21 days. Baby red Russian kale, 21 days. Mustard greens, 21 days. Baby beet greens, 21 days. The arugula and mustard greens are the worst for going to seed quickly, but I usually can get at least 2 cuts. Well, it depends on the year. This year I've been able to get at least 2 cuts every time. Mustard greens I've been getting 3 cuts in the summer. Red Russian kale, I get as many cuts as I can until it just doesn't look good anymore. So the first thing is that you just plant often. So I literally from May until the end of August, I plant those things every single week without falter. I plant every single week. The second thing is basically just turn up the taps. So you have to control the amount of water you're using. I'm going to do another video on and talk more specifically about this, on how to water properly, how to approach it. But the long and short of it is you just need to cool the crop down. And this is actually why I prefer overhead irrigation in general. I do use drip. Both examples that I just showed you right here are drip. And that's more because of the context of the plot than it is the context of the crop. If the plot was just a big open block, like many of the plots you've seen before of mine, then overhead's way easier, it just makes more sense. But even as far as greens go, I like overhead for the simple reason that if you're getting really scorching hot days, like 40 degrees Celsius, 110 degrees Fahrenheit, you can come out and turn the water on for 10 minutes and just cool those plants down really quickly, and it makes a huge difference on the quality of the product and the life of the crop. Drip doesn't do that as much. I mean, drip is effective in the sense that it's not wasting water by dumping it in the air and it's evaporating off the crop, but it doesn't cool the crop. It cools the soil, cools the roots, but it doesn't cool the plant down like overhead does. So in a way, I prefer overhead when it comes to greens. The third option, I said there was 2, but there's kind of like this other one that I don't have a ton of experience on, but I've seen students in my online course do it, farms that I consult for do it. Really cool picture here. This is Fair Share Farm in Fafton, North Carolina, and they are doing shade cloths on there. I believe this is a 40% shade cloth. They're putting that on their lettuce after they plant it, and that's a pretty effective way to do it, especially if you're in that kind of climate. If you're in Florida, Texas, California, you're in those really hot summers, you almost need to do that. Whereas for me, I do get hot summers, but I don't get the kind of heat that folks down there get. So I've been able to do it this way for many years without shade cloth. So, you know, but again, if you're in those hot climates, you might want to look at the shade cloth as your third option. You know, the watering, the quickness of the planting, the fast successions, and then the shade cloth. Those three combinations are pretty much a sure bet on how you can grow greens all summer long. If you guys have found that helpful, hit the subscribe button right now. Please like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my one-day online course that you can download and you have access to it forever. It is my Profitable Urban Farming one-day workshop. Was filmed at Permaculture Voices. There's 2 other workshops in there that are very specifically focused topics, so 12 hours of content altogether. There's a $50 discount code down below if you want to check it out. Okay guys, we'll see you soon.